part 2 of putting that Rotax engine back together. Hope you enjoy.
Back again, continuing on with the building of the engine and trying to get it together. Hopefully I have all the parts I need. I usually find somewhere down the road I'm going, oh man, I forgot to order something. If that happens, I'll let you know. But the goal is to get that engine finished. If you were watching from the previous video where it left off, that's where I'm picking up again. This is literally 1 week later here in the hangar. So yeah, thanks for following along. If you've clicked on this and you're a subscriber, thank you very much. If you came across by mistake, stick around. You know, maybe there's something you might like to see. And if you do like what you see, down there, like button, click that. And if you want updates when I post a new video, that subscribe button. And absolutely leave a comment, even if it is, actually, I kind of like the hi from wherever you're watching from. It really kind of lets me know, who's watching around the world. That wasn't the intention when I started recording these videos, I can tell you that. It was so friends and family can keep on updated with what I'm doing with this airplane. But it's kind of starting to grow beyond that a little bit, here and there, which is a good thing. So let's rush into this and start work on that engine, because I would like to get it fully assembled today. If not, I won't be really disappointed. I'll just be yeah, maybe a little disappointed. So we'll see if I forgot to order something. So right away, let's get into it. Pitter patter, let's get at her.
Okay, here we are back to the narration portion, and of course speeding things up to 4 times normal speed. Here we go, Loctite. I'm using Loctite an awful lot. Every thread that does not have a something to either it's castellated or wired in is Loctited, because I don't want things to vibrate loose. And so if you're going to be reassembling your engine, follow that creed as well. Make sure you use Loctite everywhere. So what I'm putting on here, of course, is the stator, and that's what generates the electricity for the charging circuit. It's also what generates the energy that charges the coils and makes the engine go bang. So yeah, this is the first part of the reassembly of the charging and ignition system. Now, one of the things that I didn't do when I took it apart, and I beat myself up for it while I was at the hangar, was I didn't take nearly enough pictures or videos of what it was when I was tearing it apart. Yeah, it's something that you got to do if you're going to be tearing an engine apart and putting it back together again, and you've never done it on that engine before. Take lots of pictures and lots of videos. Don't be like me and think you've taken enough, because obviously I didn't. So okay, I'm going to break these narrations up into smaller sections from what I was doing last time. That way, because it's hard to blather along for 10 minutes straight. By the way, this won't be very long of narration. So let's cut out, and I'll be back in a second. And now I'm back. Ooh, look, a book, and I'm reading. I'm looking for torque specs. I'm looking for, torque specifications. I didn't find it for this, flywheel here that has the magnets on it that makes the engine go bang and makes the electricity. So I'm flipping back and forth. I read back and forth, and my manual just doesn't have it. So yeah, I'm not sure why. Based on other engines that I've worked on, I decided that I'm just going to set this thing to 60 pounds, and I sure as heck hope that's right. I'm going to phone the guy in a Rotax dealer and verify it before I close everything up and make sure. Anyways, let's cut out the narration, because I'm going to be saying something live.
Okay, on these engines there is a timing mark. It's a little line on the flywheel here, and it has to line up with this little line here on this little pickup. And there's also a line on this pickup. Now there's a little magnet there and a little magnet there. If you look real close, you'll see, well, it could be off because of the camera angles, that kind of stuff, but you'll see that that magnet is exactly in line with that line. So the bottom edge of that magnet lines up with the line, and likewise on this side it lines up with that line. So yeah, hopefully the timing is correct. We will find out, and if it isn't, darn, but we'll see. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to adjust the timing, but if it does need to be adjusted, it will be. So that's the electrical. Electrical is now on. I need to put the coils on next and start plugging things in. I had to cut one wire. Somebody, when they assembled all of this mess, yeah, this line here, this line is the kill switch. That's what turns off the mags. When you got one for each side. This wire was fed through this harness, kind of like that, making it impossible to take it apart. I don't know why, it was just done that way. Very odd. So I cut it. I'll have to splice it. No big deal. It's just an odd thing. So I shall continue. Hopefully this is a informative reassembly for you. I tried filming over the shoulder, but I think my big fat head got in the way, so I just left the camera off to the side, and I'll probably do some narrating with this. So yeah, onwards. Carrying on with this. Before I finish putting the rest of this on, the electric starter and all that, and the fan and whatnot, I'm going to finish up the coils on the electrical side first, I think. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. So I'm going to do that, and then I will continue on with the electric starter and whatnot. So, well, back on the tripod you go.
Yes, you brute. Back to the tripod you go. Okay, so that plate I'm holding right there is what holds the coils onto the engine. Yeah, I'm just lining it up and making sure that I've got this right, and realized, oh no, it's upside down. Again, remember, I didn't take nearly enough pictures, so I'm kind of guessing as I'm going along with some of this. So yeah, the thought was, okay, I'm going to mount the coils now, but then I realized, I was looking at this and going, no, I can't quite do that yet, because if I put the coils on, they're going to get in the way of me putting those oil injection tubes back on. And there we go. I'm grabbing the oil injection tubes, I'm measuring it out, and compensating for the fact that one carb is farther than the other. I cut the tubes and inserting them onto the manifolds there. Those little brass fittings on the manifolds, they're barbed, and I tried tucking on these things once I got them on, and boy, they fit on there real well. So it's pretty secure. So right there, what I'm doing is I'm crimping down a little metal ferrule. So let's stop the narration, and I will be talking in a second.
That's what they look like. And you simply squeeze down. Let's see if I can get you guys to see that. But you squeeze down there and it crimps down. But you don't squeeze overly hard. A gentle squeeze, because you're simply, it holds on well because it's barbed. This is just to make it a little tighter, but you don't have to crush it.
And we're drawing pretty close to the end of the narration portion of this video presentation of me reassembling a Rotax 503 engine for a Challenger 2 aircraft. That's my radio station voice. So it's not a complicated process. The only thing, and I think I've said this several times, I have said it several times, is take lots of pictures, take lots of notes, and sometimes this fall there's going to be a course done in Salmon Arm, BC, I believe, British Columbia, for the Rotax, a repair course. Costs about $1,000, and I fully intend on taking that course so I can properly maintain this. Anyways, we're done with the narration, and off to the outro.
Okay, I'm going to have to close this off here. Hopefully I've captured enough. I think my battery died once or twice during all of this. So let's recap what it did, because I'm sure I had some narration going on there. And let's take a look at the engine and see what I've done. So let's spin you around. Okay, so first off, Loctite is your friend, or in this case it's Permatex, but thread locking compound. There we go. So, what did I do? Well, all the charging circuit, the magneto, and all that kind of stuff is now in. These little sensors here are set up to the timing marks. God, I hope they're right. So, of course, the shroud, this fan housing, what have you, had to go on first. And then I put the coils on, and I put the new hoses for the oil injection on, and yeah, so it doesn't seem like a lot, but realistically, in real-time hours, this was a little over 3 hours. Probably because I was interrupted with phone calls and whatnot. But yeah, I'm going to finish these spark plug wires once I get everything put together properly. Once I get the other half of this on, that has the electric starter, then I'll fasten the wiring, I'll strap things down. And I think I mentioned earlier I had to cut one wire because it was twisted through this, which made it impossible to take it apart. Anyways, I won't bore you with those details. But as you can see here, unlike the previous builder, this oil injection line is not pinched. It's nice and free. And I'm just going to put a tie wrap on here and secure it so it doesn't vibrate around the place. I don't like how it's bending like that, though. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll think about routing on this a little bit before I strap it down. Oh, hang on. You guys are crooked and looking at the bottom, at the floor. It's that cameraman. He's got to be fired. Fire the cameraman. Yeah, once I can afford to hire a cameraman. Until then, you guys are getting, oh, you're going sideways. Oh my God. Oh, what's going on here? Must be that magnetic shift of the Earth that some people are talking about, that's going to flip on us. I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that at all. Okay, so another part on here, the recap. is that I've washed everything down. I've got the wash bucket behind me, and it's got some solvent and a brush and a Scotch-Brite pad and what have you. So I've just wiped and washed things down just to get the excess grease and everything off of here and so on. So this is what the engine looks like right now. Not quite fully assembled, but I'm going to have to stop here because I am missing something again. And I thought about it 2 weeks ago, and I really should have done something then. The fan belt. The fan belt that was on here was on there for, well, at least 8 years the engine was sitting. So let's say it's a 10-year-old fan belt and a broken fan belt. I'm going to spin you guys around again. A broken fan belt is something I really don't want to have to deal with when I'm flying, and then watching the temperatures go up and up and up. Apparently some people have experienced that, and they've posted their videos. They've had Challengers on the 503, the fan belt broke, and they've noticed high temperatures on there. But, you know, it got high, but it wasn't into the red line, or it was just at that red line. They throttled back, went to low cruise speed, and babied it home, landed it, and it ended up being a fan belt that snapped. So I don't want that. I would like to have at least, barring things that are unforeseen, I would like to have at least 3 years of trouble-free service out of this engine before I have to do anything. Now, I say 3 years because it does have 130 hours on there, and when I do get this thing in the air, I'm planning on, using up the other 170 hours before the rebuild, tear-down rebuild is required again. So, yeah. It's coming along nicely. Let me spin you guys around here really fast to make you seasick. Okay, you guys ready? Are you holding on to something? Don't drink anything because it'll come out your nose. Here on. Whoop. Wow. Boy, that's a 5-ticket ride at the fair. So, okay. That's how the engine sits right now. It is just a little more assembled. I wanted it a little further along than this, but it's not going to go that far because, like I said, I'm missing that fan belt. I don't think it's very uncommon fan belt. I'm going to check. It's right here, as a matter of fact. Oh, it is. Oh, it's a 10.610. And is there anything special about it? No, it's not a wrapped belt. When I say wrapped, you know the cloth that you have on the back of the belt? There are some fan belts that cloth is wrapped all the way around. I have that actually on my snow blower. That's on my riding lawn tractor. It uses that as the drive belt because they're a lot stronger. It's a Kevlar, and it takes a lot of stress. But it's a bigger belt, but it's a wrapped belt. Well, this isn't wrapped at all. This is, by the looks of it, a standard. I mean, I can see the cords right there. This is a standard V-belt. Well, when I say standard, I mean as in design. It's an oddball size, 10 by 610. Oh, there we go, Rotax, 09. Look at that. So this was fresh as of 2009. That's, yeah. It's not cracked or anything, you know. There's no cracks or well, anything. It actually looks in pretty decent shape, but I ain't using it. I'm going to get a new one. I might hang on to that as a spare, and if I have carried a tool kit with, spark plugs, that kind of stuff, one of the things I might consider is enough tools to remove the starter housing and whatnot, and change that fan belt if it ever snaps on me somewhere in the middle of nowhere and I can't get home. this would probably get me home. That's probably what I'm going to do with it, is I'll hang on to it as a get-home emergency replacement. Okay, so there we go. That wraps it up for today. Thank you very much for following along. I'm just looking inside the engine here and looking at my handiwork, and yeah, it looks everything's yeah. Yep, looks good. Sorry, I'll probably just cut that part out. Silliness. So that's it. Thanks a lot for following along. Appreciate the comments. I appreciate the suggestions, and keep them coming. And we will see you again here in the hangar for another update as I continue on. I think the next one, when I get that fan belt, will be a final completion of assembly and mounting on this aircraft, and finish the plumbing for the fuel system and whatnot. I think that's the goal. Whether that happens, well, you know how plans change. Anyways, thank you very much for following along. I do appreciate that. And if you like what you see, hit that like button. I think I mentioned it at the beginning. And if you want to get updates, just hit that subscribe button. And think about subscribing. You know, I'm really trying to see if I can get 500 subscribers before the end of the summer. That would be cool. That'd be really cool. So, yep, that's it. We'll see you again in the hangar. And take care, God bless, and keep your stick on the ice. Bye-bye now.
Well, that's it. That's part 2. There will be a part 3. Geez, maybe even a part 4. See how long I can drag this one out. No, I want to get it done. Anyways, thanks for following along. Appreciate it. We'll see you again in the hangar. Bye-bye for now.